Hello, my name is Shay Klingbeil, and I'm the Alaska State Director for MUFON. It's a bit warm here in South Central Alaska today. It's in the mid-70s, and for Alaska, that's actually quite hot. But we are all soaking it in as best we can, and definitely enjoying that sunshine, because before we know it, the deep freeze will be once again upon us. I was asked last week what I could tell about the Ingo Swann lake encounter. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit today. It is definitely a famous yet controversial case. So Ingo Swann, he was a remote viewing researcher who described an alleged incident in his book Penetration. According to the account, unidentified handlers flew him to a remote northern destination and transported him to a small lake. This lake is often thought to be Lake Minchumina. There, at the lake, he reportedly observed an enormous triangular or diamond-like object appear over the water. So the account included several unusual effects. The lake water reportedly rose towards the object. A wind-like or magnetic sensation passed through the surrounding trees. Red, beam-like emissions entered the woods. And Swann was allegedly told that the beams were striking or eliminating warm-blooded animals, like deer or porcupines. The object also appeared to respond to the presence of Swann and the other observers. The official Swann website summarizes the incident as involving a large object over a tiny lake, water rising towards it, and beams being directed towards warm-blooded life. Now, this is his personal narrative and is not an independently, it must be the heat, verified event. A publisher's description of Penetration identifies the setting only as a remote location near the Arctic Circle and an Alaskan lake. It does not identify Lake Minchumina by name. So the next question is, how did Lake Minchumina become associated with it? Well, online researchers attempted to reconstruct his journey from the details he gave in his book. There was an unlighted or minimally lighted remote airstrip, a mail plane and small settlement, a flight originally originating in California, a lengthy ground journey to another lake, mountainous wilderness and heavy forest, and then a return flight crossing mountain ranges towards the coast. So one researcher proposed that Swann landed at Minchumina Airport and was then transported approximately 50 miles to another lake. That is an interesting geographic reconstruction, but is not confirmation. And Swann never publicly established Lake Minchumina as the landing place. There are also some geographic difficulties with this. Lake Minchumina lies at approximately 63.8 degrees north, well south of the Arctic Circle, although Swann may have been using the term Arctic Circle rather loosely and to apply to all of the north. Are there any direct Lake Minchumina UFO reports? I did not find a strong collection of publicly documented sightings publicly filed from Lake Minchumina. But that does not prove that no sightings have occurred. Lake Minchumina has a very small population and limited public documentation and few potential reporters. So for something to be reported, it has to actually be seen or experienced, right? And historical accounts may have been filed under broader locations such as Denali, my hometown of McGrath, Nikolai, Talida, and anywhere in interior Alaska. So I hope that answered your question a little bit. If you want more details, you can always get Swann's book, Penetration. Thank you so much for watching.
And as always, if you see or experience anything interesting that you can't explain, please report it at MUFON.com, and we will be happy to look into that for you. Until next time.